Tiny Tales by Prim, Bedtime Stories, Volume 1. Whiskers and the Magical Yarn Ball. Once upon a time, a playful kitten named Whiskers lived in a cozy village. With her bright eyes and twitching tail, she loved finding new things to play with, especially things she wasn't supposed to touch. One sunny morning, Whiskers spotted a colorful ball of yarn rolling out of her neighbor Mrs. Daisy's window. She pounced, but the yarn had a bit of magic in it and slipped right through her paws. The yarn zoomed around the garden, over flower pots and under bushes, with Whiskers chasing after it, meowing in delight. Finally, she caught it under an old oak tree. But as soon as she touched it, the magic yarn glowed and turned into a sparkling butterfly. Whiskers watched in wonder as it flew into the sky. From that day on, Whiskers looked for more magical surprises, though nothing was as special as her adventure with the magical yarn ball. Mrs. Daisy didn't mind a bit. She loved watching Whiskers have fun. The Journey of Little Droplet. Once upon a time, in a quiet river, lived a tiny water droplet named Wibble. Wibble loved drifting along, sparkling in the sunshine and feeling the gentle river currents. One warm day, Wibble noticed he was feeling lighter and lighter. Before he knew it, he started floating up into the sky. Wibble looked around in wonder. He was rising into the air, joining many other droplets just like him. "Where are we going?" Wibble asked a nearby droplet. "To the clouds," it replied with a joyful sparkle. "We're turning into mist." Soon, Wibble and his new friends gathered together, forming a fluffy, puffy cloud. From above, he could see rivers, trees, and tiny houses below. It felt like a big, soft adventure. After a while, the sky turned gray, and the clouds grew heavy. Wibble knew it was time to go back home. He transformed once more, falling gently down as rain to the river he came from. And so, Wibble's journey continued, traveling from river to sky and back again, forever part of the world's magical water cycle. The Adventure of Little Seed. Once, in a sunny meadow, there was a tiny flower seed named Sprout. Sprout dreamed of growing up tall, reaching for the sky, and becoming part of the big forest nearby. One breezy day, the wind whispered, "Hold on tight," and lifted Sprout high into the air. Sprout twirled and twirled, drifting over fields, rivers, and finally, the edge of the big forest. The wind gently set Sprout down in a cozy patch of soil. Rain showers sprinkled down, and warm sunlight peeked through the tall trees, welcoming Sprout to his new home. Day by day, Sprout felt a change, growing roots, sprouting leaves, and stretching taller and taller. Seasons passed, and Sprout grew into a beautiful wildflower, standing proudly among the trees of the big forest. Birds sang above, squirrels scampered nearby, and Sprout felt at home, surrounded by new friends. Sprout had finally become part of the big forest, just as he'd always dreamed. Bella the Little Bird. In a cozy nest high in the trees, a little baby bird named Bella dreamed of singing a beautiful song. But when Bella tried, all she could manage was a tiny peep. Determined to learn, Bella hopped out of her nest and went to her friends in the forest. First, She visited Froggy by the pond. Ribbit, ribbit, he croaked. Bella tried, ribbit peep, but it didn't sound right. Next, Bella found Crick the cricket, who chirped happily, chirp, chirp. Bella chirped, peep chirp, but it still didn't sound like her own song. Finally, Bella met Owl, who hooted gently. Hoo, hoo, said Owl. Bella tried, peep hoo. It was fun, but not quite right. One morning, as the sun rose, Bella felt a song bubbling up inside her. She took a deep breath and sang her own tune, soft, sweet, and full of joy. All her forest friends gathered around, listening in awe. Bella had found her own voice, and her song became the loveliest sound in the forest. The Adventures of Little Salmon. In a quiet riverbed, tiny salmon eggs lay tucked in the pebbles. One sunny morning, a little salmon fry named Sammy wriggled free from his egg, ready to explore the big, wide world. Sammy was very tiny, with big curious eyes and a wiggly tail. He stayed close to his brothers and sisters, learning to hide from big fish and munch on tiny bugs. The river was Sammy's first home, but he often heard stories of a place called the ocean, and dreamed of seeing it. As Sammy grew stronger, he felt the pull to swim downstream. One day, with his family of young salmon fry, he followed the rushing river, moving past rocks, waterfalls, and the shimmering sunlight. Finally, Sammy reached the ocean. The water was salty and full of new sights and creatures. Sammy swam with colorful fish, playful seals, and even saw a huge whale. Though he missed his river home, Sammy knew he'd return one day. For now, his ocean adventure was just beginning, and he was ready for more.